Good evening, I'm Ben Mankiewicz. Thanks for joining us for more of Day 6 of 31 Days of Oscar. Tonight's lineup of Academy Award winners focuses on films set in England. Up next, the story of King Henry VIII and one of his 6 wives. From Universal in 1969, directed by Charles Jarrett, Anne of the Thousand Days. You may already know the story of King Henry VIII, who was married to Catherine of Aragon when he fell in love with Anne Boleyn, one of Catherine's ladies-in-waiting. The king was smitten, and Anne's insistence on a wedding ring began a whole chain of events that are detailed in the movie. Richard Burton plays the king. Burton's wife at the time, you may have heard of her, actress named Elizabeth Taylor, lobbied hard for the role of Anne Boleyn. Theoretically, that made sense because Taylor and Burton were essentially the king and queen of Hollywood at the time. Plus, much of the public was fascinated with their private lives, which at times played out like a soap opera that rivaled the royals on their best or on their worst day. There was one problem with that, though. Elizabeth Taylor was 37 years old, and Anne Boleyn was supposed to be a teenager when she met the king, so the role instead went to French-Canadian actress Geneviève Bujold. Taylor was able to tolerate getting turned down for a role. That's just part of being an actor. But when gossip started trickling in from the scandal sheets that Burton was taken with his much younger co-star, Taylor's tolerance waned. Furious, she kept showing up on set to make sure her husband was staying faithful. These flaring passions served as a perfect mirror for the heightened romantic drama of the film, which Variety called a sumptuous, grand-scale drama with stunning acting. Fans and other critics agreed. It went on to earn 10 Academy Award nominations, winning for Margaret Furs's costume design. From 1969, also with Anthony Quayle and Irene Pappas, Anne of the Thousand Days. Anne of the Thousand Days was one of several successful period films about British royalty made during the late 1960s, earning 10 Academy Award nominations, including Best Picture, Best Actress for Geneviève Bujold, and Best Actor for Richard Burton, his 6th. He lost to John Wayne for True Grit. Burton's previous nomination came 3 years earlier for his work opposite his wife, Elizabeth Taylor, in the tempestuous 1966 drama Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf. As I mentioned before the film, Taylor wanted to star opposite Burton as Anne Boleyn in Anne of the Thousand Days, but was considered too old for the role. Taylor did wrangle a bit part, though, a cameo, really, out of producer Hal Wallace, but her scene wasn't used in the final cut, although some sources say she appears in the film as a masked courtesan. Here's some fun trivia. According to a Richard Burton biography, Burton provided Taylor with a connection to the real King Henry VIII earlier that year. On Taylor's 37th birthday, Burton gave her La Peregrina, a pearl once given to Henry VIII's daughter Mary by King Philip of Spain. By the way, I, like many of you, I'm sure, memorized a rhyme in school when studying English history. The rhyme helped you remember the order of outcome for King Henry VIII's 6 wives, starting with Catherine of Aragon and running through his last wife, Catherine Parr. The sequence went like this: divorced, beheaded, died; divorced, beheaded, survived. That mnemonic device is perhaps the best argument there is for the upside of divorce. Coming up, a biographical drama about the life of Queen Elizabeth I, the daughter of Anne Boleyn. From MGM in 1953, Gene Simmons stars in Young Bess, next on Turner Classic Movies.
Next on TCM, Young Bess, then Pride and Prejudice, and later, David Copperfield. Oscar's pick is Dickens Today.